Hi, everyone. This is Lance Hood. On this call, we're going to share some of the simplest and most effective things that you can do right now that will have the greatest impact on your bottom line and your time. Today, we're going to learn the best and most profitable practices from Benchmark Email, a global leader in CRM and bulk email systems. Started in 2004, Benchmark Email has reached well over 500,000 customers and is recommended by Forbes as a technology that you should try. Our speaker today is Benchmark's Content and Social Media Manager, Andy Shore. Andy speaks at workshops, small business expos, and chambers of commerce all across the country, and today we're lucky enough to have him. Andy, welcome to the call.
Hey, Lance, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk to everyone today about email marketing and marketing automation.
Well, before we get started, Andy, can you take 2 to 3 minutes and just share a little bit about Benchmark and a few of the major milestones or turning points that's made it what it is today?
Yeah, absolutely. We strive to be the powerfully simple and simply powerful solution. We're intuitive, easy to use. Your grandma can sit down and figure it out if she needs to for her, business on Etsy or whatever it may be. But it's going to give you the tools to get everything you need to do to grow your business with email marketing. And the things that have really helped us grow has been that we're available in 9 different languages. We have local support in each of those languages. So no matter where you are, you're going to be able to connect with someone who understands your situation, who wants to help you, won't just rush you off the phone. And phone support is a thing that a lot of our competitors do not offer. So that's another thing. And I can talk about our customer support and be able to boast about that confidently because PC Magazine has named us the #1 customer support for email marketers. And one thing that led to that is this year, our employee training received the Lenny Award for Best Employee Training because we want to make sure that those people, whether you reach them via phone, chat, or email, are going to be there to help you succeed because, we're in business because we're helping other marketers succeed, which is really fun and exciting.
And, phone support is so important because if you're having a problem that's business critical and you can't talk to somebody to get help, that would be just so insane.
Yeah. And especially, trying to communicate via chat or email where you're not getting immediate responses even. It's incredible. And my office is right near where our support team is here in the U.S. And I get to hear them do their jobs every day. And it's amazing that, someone calls in and you never want to have to call because you're stuck on something and you're going to be frustrated when it's happening. But those guys, they routinely turn those calls and you hear them being thanked profusely because they know what they're doing. We see thousands of emails every single week. So they're good at what they do. We call them our customer engagement representatives because it's literally just their job to help you connect with your customers.
Let me ask you this, Andy. We're talking about best and most profitable practices. Why is it important for companies not just to have an email list? What is the value and importance of an email list? What does it mean to a company?
Everything. I can't overstate how important a list is, no matter how often we talk about it. That's the asset that you own that no one's going to take away from you. Something could happen with Facebook that they implode eventually, or Twitter, or whatever the platform is. Those can come and go, and you don't own anything on those sites. Your followers can just disappear in the blink of an eye, but your email list is always yours to keep, and it's the best connection with people. You think about how often you wake up and pick up your phone and check your email first thing you do, or it's just on the go. You're constantly there. It's right in your pocket. It's one of the most personable ways you can connect with people. It's on their person. It's an accessory and it's an extension of their hand, and you're able to connect with all those people. So it's really one of the most valuable business assets that any company can have.
I would even say that as social media, when people connect through social media, post goes out, but it can be pushed down by a whole bunch of other responses, and there's a life cycle to how long that post is going to reach people and be valuable. Whereas your email, when you're talking about email, that's something that it's sitting out there unread until you check it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I saw a stat recently that someone said a tweet is good for about 15 minutes just because it disappears into the Twitter feed and is gone. Facebook does a little bit better job with their algorithm of keeping content around, but it's just it's really incredible that and even on social media, you get a notification in your inbox with an email when something happens. It'll always come back to email, even with the social media things.
Yeah. And I like what you said, which is when it comes to social media, you don't own it. Like, you could be locked out or lose your social media account at any time, but your email, no matter who you use it through, you can bring it to the next place. You actually own it. It's an asset, and it's your captive customer base. It's your people that you can actually reach, communicate with. It's the people who are interested in you, that have been attracted to you online or through your marketing, and now you have a conversation where you can actually have predictable income. Because if you're just waiting for people to come to your site, you don't know when they're coming or when they'll come back. But if they've chosen to be part of an email list with your company, you can reach them any day of the week, because there you are. They've chosen to hear from you, and you can send that message out. We know the importance of an email list, and I just want to talk about this. What can it do to people's bottom line? If they're really not effectively running an email list, maybe they have one, they're not using it effectively, or they really haven't put the time into it. What change can that do to their bottom line by effectively using email?
Yeah, I mean, email itself, email marketing, has one of the most widely recognized highest returns on investment across all marketing channels. The stat is for every $1 spent, it's $42 returned when you're maximizing your results with email marketing. And I mean, just think about that. And with most email plans, if your list is on the smaller side is $10, $15, $20, one sale pays for for your email marketing, and most people aren't only selling one thing with each month's email campaigns. It's the return on investment is insane. And when you are able to do even the small things, you don't have to be the best email marketer, but being able to stay just top of mind and fresh in your customers' minds, for businesses. I mean, think about, like, if you're a realtor or you're a car salesman, like, people aren't buying cars or houses every single month, but you need to be the first person they think of when they are ready to do that. So even if the minimum you're doing is a monthly newsletter, that's setting you up for success down the road, even if you don't realize it just with each newsletter sent.
Communication creates connection. And when you talk with people over time, even through email, you create some sort of connection, and almost people get used to speaking with you, that you become part of their mental routine, and you're their first choice when they go to use your products or services. I think it could also keep them engaged with your products as you're communicating, because one of the points of your email list is to add value to people on a regular basis, open their minds to what's possible that they might not be doing, or ways to simplify things, increase revenue, decrease expenses, decrease time, effort, all these things that people are using their email for.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, when we envision who our perfect customer is, it is the person who's looking for that ongoing customer engagement and creating that conversation, because that's where all the value from your email marketing for your customer comes in. I mean, that's really what you need to be thinking about with email marketing, is what does your customer need, not what you want to sell. Because our most popular blog post that gets the most comments is on blog posts about Unroll.me. And people love that tool because it helps them unsubscribe from emails that they're just not seeing value in, because all those companies aren't thinking about the customer. They're just thinking about what they need to send out and sell. So that ongoing conversation, like you were mentioning, is really the most critical thing there.
Absolutely. Every time you have the privilege of communicating with someone, if you're adding value to them, you're getting a precious spot. So we understand the value and what it can mean for a company and how important it is. Your email/CRM system, so when you get into customer relationship, that means that not only can you communicate by sending out an email, but explain to everybody what it means by being able to respond to people's reactions and choices so that they can have a personalized experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's no one likes to feel like they're being marketed to. So every step you can take throughout the process that creates that personalization is just going to make your email marketing all the more powerful. So that can start on the list segmentation side and having an understanding of who your subscribers are as people in terms of what products they're interested in, where they're located. I mean, just having that idea of their interests, where they're at in the world, what they want to hear from you will help you do good marketing on that side of things. And then you can come into the marketing automation side of things where you can set it up to follow up with them if they clicked on a certain link, if they opened or didn't open the email, if they visited a certain page on your website, to where those follow-ups are automatically triggered and they're getting that next piece of information they need on their adventure towards conversion.
How do people actually grow their list properly? Because this is important for people. Now we know we want to get started, but what's the process of growing this audience so that we can reach more and more people and not waste our time and dollars doing it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it all starts with a sign-up form. You know, I encounter marketers and new businesses all the time who tell me they're not even ready for email marketing, and that's so silly to me because it's never too early to start growing that list and thinking of ways to do it, even before you've officially launched your website or your product or business or whatever it is. You can put that sign-up form on your website, on your Facebook page, and even at that point say, follow up for updates. We'll be, letting you know as we get closer to launch, or you'll get an exclusive preview or first crack at something, to where you can create that excitement before things even happen and then hit the ground running. But it's as simple as, there's sign-up forms that you can embed right on your website, on your Facebook page. Even if you have a tablet or something at the register in your brick and mortar location, you can put a sign-up form there. And I mean, sign-up forms have gotten pretty sophisticated at this point. There's the pop-up ones that are really hard to miss. There's even what they have called exit intent sign-up forms now. So as someone's going to click back or exit out of a page, then the sign-up form will pop up, and it's just like that Hail Mary, like, wait, before you go, here's a discount, so subscribe and you'll get 10, 15, 20% off your first purchase. So you're reeling them in as they were on their way out the door. And it's just, with those sign-up forms, it's telling them what to expect from what you're going to send to them. Because, we've talked about, you need to give them value. So tell them the value you're going to deliver to them. And then, of course, make sure you're delivering on that once you start sending the emails. But let them know what to expect. Have a sign-up form that they want to contribute to. If you can offer them something like a free ebook or even if it's a one-sheet PDF or a guide of some sort, it's going to give them all the more reason and incentive to sign up to that list.
Absolutely. And, when you're talking with people, we found I have run seven-figure companies with just an email sign-up form and sending people emails. Everybody thinks that you have to spend all this time setting up this grandiose, beautifully designed website before you get going with your email system. And like you said, that's just not true. Your email system is your customer base. If you have this amazing business, this amazing website, but no customers, it doesn't really do you a lot of good. And if you're buying traffic, you have to pay every single time you want some new person to see what you're doing, whereas once they're part of your email database, it costs next to nothing to communicate with them. So I think what you were saying is it's so important. You can never start too soon when it comes to your email system. It's one of the most important things you can do. I would say you should start it immediately. And I also think that the other thing is that you want to choose the best company to work with, because just like everything else in life, everything's a little different. So you really need to look through the things and figure out what's important to you and who has the best services for you.
Exactly. And just to build on that point, think about Amazon. their website is not beautiful. It's very simple. It hasn't been updated in a long time, but they also do great email marketing. And if you were looking at a product but didn't purchase it, you better believe you're going to get a follow-up email about that product. Or if you do buy something, you're going to get an email with accessories or related products. They have never worried about their web design, but because they stay in good contact with their customers, they're one of the most valuable companies in the world.
Right. And I think one of the other things is with personalization is making sure that you are talking to people one at a time versus like a podium. I can tell you that when I open and like to actually read the emails from people, they're just talking to me. They're not saying, hey, everybody, here's what's going on, like they're in front of this big microphone. It's not personal. It doesn't really connect for me. And I think that people almost get drawn into a dialogue, and it means more to them when you're just talking to them. Have you guys noticed this in your tests or what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, in tests, we always see that. Like I mentioned, no one ever enjoys feeling like they're being marketed to. And so time and again, when you're able to use the data you have to your advantage and create those personalized experiences, even if it's just using merge tags to bring someone's first name into the email or the subject line, those small touches go a long way, because when you're just seeing blanket things in the inbox, everybody's inbox is crowded, but when it's speaking directly to them, that's going to get their attention. Even if the rest of the copy in the email is exactly the same, that one small touch will do it. But it goes beyond that. I mean, even the experience from my own inbox, I got an email yesterday from Spotify telling me upcoming concerts in my area, because they know where I'm at and what music I listen to. So it's just using the data you have on your side that's being collected in your sign-up form or based on someone's clicks or the emails they're opening. You can create those experiences by sending segmented, targeted campaigns to those people with those interests. Or like I mentioned before, marketing automation takes that to the next level, and you don't even have to think about it, because it's just based on the triggers and their actions, what's going to follow up. And then it's the exact next step that they need to convince them to purchase something, but it's just triggered by their own actions. So that means they're getting the absolute specific information they're looking for.
Right. So if they don't open an email, the next email can be, hey, we saw that you didn't open the email, or something like that. Or they have opened a specific email, and now it's like, hey, we just want to follow up with you about this. So now it's like there's a real relationship going. And I think, like you said, that's important because we're trying to add value to people, not just to gather an email list to make money or grow our businesses, but we're actually looking to connect with people and create more of a long-term relationship of, we really are adding value. We really are here to help, and that stuff's important. Any last questions about growing their audience properly?
Sure. And it's actually going to sound counterintuitive to growing. But the last most effective thing in terms of the growth of your email marketing and your list is not being afraid to let names go from your list and making sure you're cleaning that list out of the people who just aren't opening your emails after a certain amount of time. They may have forgotten why they signed up in the first place or no longer need something, but if you continue sending to people who aren't opening your emails, eventually that's going to start to affect your deliverability. And besides the fact, most email plans are list-based at this point. So you're paying to send to people who don't even want to hear from you anymore. And so it's going to cost you more money, and it's going to hurt the deliverability of your campaigns just because you're so worried about the size of your list. You're not doing those proper best practices to make sure your list is good, not just big. And so, you asked about growth, and my response is sometimes it's good to shrink, but it really is one of the most important things that marketers overlook time and again is just the need to maintain a great list.
Absolutely. try to send to as many people as possible. Try to send to the people who want to hear from you.
Definitely.
So what should people, once they have an audience, what should people do to really maximize this audience, to really build this business up, whether it's automation or anything like that?
Yeah, it's really just about establishing your goals and knowing what you want to accomplish. And then once you understand that, then it's switching over. What do your customers need, or what are your subscribers looking for? So it's setting up those different strategies that are basically funnels that get them closer and closer to your goal, but each of those steps in that funnel is addressing the needs of the customers. So automation plays a big part of it, because you set it up from the beginning and create all those funnels, but tailor it to the subscriber's specific journey through your website with your email campaigns that gets them to become first-time customers, repeat customers, loyal customers, brand advisors. And when you do all those marketing steps correctly, that's what happens. So it's creating an automated welcome email when they sign up. So, hey, thanks for signing up. Here's the discount we promised you in the sign-up form. Here's what you can expect from us. This is our, first impression of our email campaign to you. So let's make it warm. Let's make it fun. Let's make it good. Then it's staying top of mind with those weekly or monthly newsletters where you're giving company updates, giving that personal touch about the people behind your company, added value for them as it goes through. And then it's, okay, I have a promotion, we have a sale coming up, we're launching a new product. Do I create a marketing automation that first sends people to announce it? Then there's a follow-up based on if they clicked and visited the product page with more information on the product or testimonials for that product. Then it's another email follow-up if they clicked on that one to tell them more great things that come with that product or reasons they need it. Then they buy it, and, it may be something that you use up in a few months. So in a month, 2-3 months down the line is that next email in that automated journey. Hey, it's time for you to re-up on, I have a dog food. I need to get it every month or so. If I got that email, it's like, hey, here's a 10% discount or free shipping when you order right now. I'm going to do it every time because it's something I need. So it's just understanding your subscribers and knowing what the timing is that's going to get them in the door, keep them coming back, and make them happy and feel like they're heard, to where, if that's happening, I'm just like, oh my God, this company's great. I saved money because they gave me the discount to repurchase it. And it like I said, those things is what makes people not just one-time customers, but brand advocates.
How do people then keep their people on their list? Now somebody signed up and you're communicating with them, but they can also be like, this isn't for me. So what's some strategies that are working?
Sure. The best thing I can suggest for that is paying attention to your reports. And because that's black and white, what's working and what isn't working in your email marketing. I mean, there's always A/B testing you do that, helps to see the types of campaigns or the subject lines that work. And that's all well and good. But looking at those reports to see what is getting open more often than not, what links are getting clicked on more than not, that tells you the kind of content that's important to your subscribers. And so if you're sending email campaigns that have great subject lines and they're a familiar from name and they're getting opened, but then nobody's clicking, that email campaign isn't fully effective. You need to know where you need to improve in your efforts to make sure that, we keep going back to, you need to add value to your subscribers' lives. And if they're not clicking through to your website, they're not getting that value. And so it's really just seeing what's working in your reports, eliminating what's not working, doing more what is working, and continually checking that. So you really have your finger on the pulse of what's going on with your email marketing. And then if your subscribers are happy and they're getting what they want to hear from you, you're seeing those clicks, they're going to stick around for a long time. I mean, I'll give a shout out to Thrillist. I open their email every morning, one, because they have great copy, but they're always telling me the things to do in LA this weekend, the best new restaurants that opened, date suggestions. So, I mean, I've wowed my girlfriend time and again with new restaurants that have just opened that are incredible because I'm getting that value from their emails on a daily basis. And most places aren't going to be able to deliver daily value. And so that's why I said maybe it's a weekly newsletter, a monthly newsletter, but it all depends on what you're offering. And if you can find the way to do it, they see that I'm opening those emails. They can continue sending to me daily because I'm clicking through, I'm finding the value there. It's really just having an understanding of what you're doing well and doing more of it.
Absolutely. And I would even say that if you're getting good opens, but people aren't clicking through, one, it could mean that you haven't designed your emails to where the body of the email isn't the end of the message. You definitely, to make sure that you understand that your message is resonating with people, I would make sure that you have people click through to a web page to get the final message so that you can see if they were interested in it. Because if you just have the email, all the information in the email, and there's nothing to do but read it, you don't have any idea if people were even interested in it once they read it. And then if you have people who are opening the email but not clicking through to the next web page, not only is it your marketing is dialed in, but I think that can be a sign that the audience, once they get to your email, they're either confused or not interested, and that can be annoying. And those, not only is your marketing not effective, but that can also start to cause people to leave and unsubscribe.
You're absolutely right. And I think one mistake and trap that people fall into is trying to do too many things in one email campaign. And it just gets the subscriber confused or cluttered, and it just won't work. So we always suggest to people to have one clear goal with one clear call to action in that email, because then you know specifically if that works. And you can always create a separate email campaign for those other things you wanted people to do. But when you're able to have one clear goal, you know if that thing is working or isn't, or if it doesn't confuse or clutter, you're not causing added unnecessary friction or anxiety by trying to do too many things. And like you said, that landing page is the next and last important step. And you can do things like connecting your Google Analytics to your email marketing account, to where you can track the traffic from your emails to your website, and you know where they're going from there. So if your landing page doesn't deliver on the promise that the email, just as if the email doesn't deliver on the promise of the sign-up form, if each one doesn't follow the other and tell one complete story, you're not going to get your happy ending.
Well, I definitely want to take with everybody, and I want to come back and share even more stuff here. But I want to take a second and just talk about maybe, we know that you have over 500,000 users, so you're doing something right. People love Benchmark. For people who are new to Benchmark, can you, I know some of the names of businesses that use your services: PBS, Public Broadcasting, Courtyard by Marriott, Office Depot, Curves, Toyota, Audi. Like, a lot of really big companies have chosen to make Benchmark their home. Why do you think that is?
What I think keeps people, coming back to Benchmark and why they pick us among all the competitors is it comes back to that powerfully simple, simply powerful idea. It's easy enough to use that your marketing intern can go in there and do the job. But because it's also easy and we've got the friendly drag and drop editor, the design team and the creative team is going to love the looks of the emails. And because you can do things like A/B testing, have great real-time reports, use marketing automation, that's when you're going to get that $42 for every $1 spent, have that amazing ROI that when you turn in your reports to your CMO or your CEO or whoever it may be, they're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. You can see the results and specifically track what's successful in your email marketing efforts, that every step of the way in a company, everyone can use it, everyone can succeed with it, that that's why I think all those companies came to Benchmark.
Do you have any case studies from clients or testimonials or things that they've shared with how Benchmark has helped their company specifically?
Yeah, I mean, we hear it every day, and it's something we always love to hear. It's amazing, someone comes and says, well, you were using one of your competitors, but we found your user interface so much friendlier, so much easier to use. We can do things so much quicker than before. And I mean, time and again, anyone who comes, and tells us how great it is, that it's amazing to see. Just that, being a part of a company that's helping other companies grow is always exciting. But, right on our homepage, we've got, Jane, who's saying, oh, I've used both Contact and Benchmark. I haven't had any need for customer service. Benchmark by far offers the best value. All their programs are working for me. It always comes through, I love going through review sites and seeing what people are saying, both positive and negative. A lot of times the negative ones are just people didn't realize that the features were there, didn't take the time, or were doing bad practices. Very often do we really get the negative side of things, but it's always just really great to see positive comments from everybody.
Right. Well, while we actually get into how simple it is, I just encourage everybody. There's a button here right next to the interview. You can click on it and you can actually go through to Benchmark, or if you're not next to the button, you can always go to www.betterbusinesses.co/benchmark, and that will take you right there. While people are here, one of the things I want them to notice is that people might think that email marketing, running emails, can be complicated. They don't want to think about it. It's one more thing to do, but it actually is a way to take work off your plate. And as far as simplicity of getting started, right here we talk about how people can create an email campaign, which could be simply an email, in minutes. So can you explain, so if somebody gets started, what is a reasonable expectation on the time it takes to set up your account and set up your first email and be communicating?
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, like you said, it's a matter of minutes. I mean, from going to the website, signing up, uploading your list, even if it's you, two coworkers, and your mom, just to send that first test campaign to get a feel for things and just to see how you create that email, it's really just a half hour of just uploading those email addresses, going into the drag and drop editor, dropping your images in, putting some copy, taking a minute to think about the subject line that's going to get those opens, and sending things off. I mean, say you're a company and you're going to your first ever trade show and you had a great day. You have a couple pictures of people visiting your booth, smiles with your products, maybe a quick video. You can come in, drop that all in, and have that list of everyone who came and visited your booth that day, and send it out at the end of that day. Like we said, in 20, 30 minutes, you can upload those photos and images, write a quick, hey, thanks for coming by. We love meeting everyone today. We hope to see you next year. We'll be following up with more information throughout the year. And sending that out, it's literally 30 minutes. If your list is under 2,000 subscribers, you're not even paying for email marketing. It's totally free. It's not a free trial. There's no time limit on it. It's until that list grows past 2,000 subscribers that you won't even pay for your email marketing. So not only is it fast to get started, but you're not even paying for it.
I think that's one of the best things, is allowing people to grow with it and not making money an issue. So if you're just getting started, or you don't have a list or a small list, this doesn't cost you anything. And when you actually start communicating with it, that's when you can really start building some revenue. And knowing that you can create an email in minutes and be able to start using that to grow your company is so important. And what some people might think is, this email has to be so well thought through, and they might overthink it. Like, the email has to be well thought through. You have to address all these things. I don't even know what to say. But in actuality, what we've found is that the simpler the email, the less you put into it, just having one core thing that people are interested in that they can click through is the most effective, because there's only one thing to read or do. It's yes or no, which is, do I want to know more about this and click through or not? And then a lot of that can be done with just putting in an image and a title and a link and a little bit of description in your email, and you're done. And you can create those in minutes.
There's already a sample list created when you sign up of your own email address. So even if you just want to send the test to get a feel for it, that's there. There are hundreds of templates for you to choose from that get you 90% of the way there in terms of the design of your email, where you really only have to add the copy, your own logos and photos if you want, and whatever other graphics and the copy subject line, send it off. I mean, that makes things even easier. Or there's just the specific layouts that you can pick from that this is the feel I want from it, but I can drag in my own, graphic elements or whatever that may be. All the tools are there. Even there's a block where you can drag in to match the navigation on your website in your email so that the branding is going to carry through all channels. And I just wanted to reiterate the point you were making about not having to hit perfection and having to go for it. Doing something, as long as it's thoughtful and you're not only keeping your own needs in mind, and that it's going to be something that your subscribers would want to hear from you, anything you're doing is going to be more than you are currently doing. So it's that baby step and step in the positive direction of just trying to make those connections. And even if it's just, like I said, going to an event and sending an image or two of people having fun at your booth, that's good branding for you. It's creating good feelings, and it's going to help you build from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the stuff is simpler than people think. And we've come up with this thing at our company, which is being perfectly broke, which means you try to make things perfect before you do them. And in essence, you never really get around to doing them. So it's definitely good to just go. And if you do not have an idea of what the conversation should be or what your subject line should be to have people tune in, simply send out a survey to people and then look at what comes back on the survey results, because people will absolutely tell you what they want to know, what they're interested in, what their problems are, how they want you to help them, what about your current service can be improved. And those are all topics that are valuable to your audience that you can then send out in your email. So coming up with content or knowing what to say in your subject line is really simple. And if you don't have an audience right now, one of the best things you can do is start growing it so that you can send out a survey. But honestly, doing email has been one of the most effective, fun, and I think exciting things that we've ever done. And you were talking about looking at your results and looking at how people are opening or not opening and your analytics. That stuff is so fascinating because you're getting to see what people really want, and it makes you a better company. It's not just about making you more profitable, but you become a better company because you really tune in with this collective group of people who are listening to your email, who are, in essence, you're also your customer base.
Yeah, I mean, everything you just said warms my heart. I mean, from reaching out and sending a survey, I mean, I keep preaching, it's all customer first. And so they'll tell you what they want to hear from you. I mean, Benchmark even has a survey function. So when you sign up, you can use our tools to send out that survey. One of the things we do as a company here at Benchmark is we strive for continuous improvement. So like you said, that first one doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you're paying attention to the reports and doing a little bit better job every time because you're learning from what you're doing, it's going to be great, time and again.
Any final thoughts for anybody who's listening and looking at email marketing or looking at Benchmark?
Just try it, start doing it. I mean, that's the simplest thing we can keep saying, that, maybe you're afraid to try it, or you don't think you're good enough for it or ready for it, or you don't have the skills or know-how or manpower. Email marketing frees up the time for you. It gives you the manpower because you can schedule things in advance. You can use marketing automation to where, if you remember the old Ronco infomercial for the oven that you set it and forget it, you can do that with email marketing, where you come in and set up all those triggers from your sign-up form to visiting your website and every step of the way, to where all those connections and all those good practices we've been talking about are happening while you're focusing on the other aspects of your business that you need to. And as long as you do, I said set it and forget it, but don't forget it, because you do want to come back to those reports and see what's working, keep improving, and really just start and just try. And like I said, you can sign up, and until your list grows past that 2,000 subscriber mark, that's what lets us put our money where our mouth is and show that Benchmark is a tool that's going to help you grow your business. Because if you're growing your list and you're selling with email marketing, you're going to be happy and be fine once you have to pay for it because it's still making you money. And obviously we're happy because we helped you grow, and that's when we start making money too. But that's why the starter plan exists, is to show you and prove to you that email marketing is there to help your business. So please try it. You know, of course, we want you to use Benchmark, but do email marketing is really what I will tell any business I meet.
Andy, thank you so much for joining us on the call and for sharing everything. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. This was fun. Talk to you soon.